Sanibona, ngaphambi singene kwivideo namuhla, ngithi angithathe lethuba ngibonge isupport nothando nesikhombise lona lingaphezulu kokucabanga kwethu. Siyacela niqhubeke nisupporte njalo ngokubuka amavideo ethu, ungakhohlwa ukukhomenta, ushare, ulike. Siyafisa ukuzwa umbono wakho. Sicela ke singene kwivideo namuhla.
Sure. That where we have to start, which is what a political party controls, we have to start with the civil service. The South African civil service is the highest paid in the world as a percentage of GDP. A few years ago, the South African government invited the International Monetary Fund to come and study the salaries of the public service. And they concluded that the public service in South Africa earns 16% of GDP. Similar countries to us at the level of development, like Chile in South America, Thailand in Asia, is only 6% of GDP goes to public service salaries.
Wow, that's quite staggering.
So it's a huge amount of money that is going to civil service pay.
So everything we produce as a country in a year, 16% of that must go back to
the salaries of the public service.
And then we want to increase tax.
Yes,
to pay
to
for that.
To all that.
In part.
So what we should be doing is to say, take that, to cut the civil service pay back to similar countries and take that 10% that we save and put it into investment, into building infrastructure, into building new universities and so on and so forth. That today, our investment as a percentage of GDP is only 15%. If we took that 10% and added, we'll go up to 25%, which will put us where we were when we were building the stadiums in the beginning of 2000.
Yeah, the good old days.
Exactly, that's what it would do for us. So the first obstacle we're sitting with in South Africa is the overpaid public service. But the public service is part of the middle class that controls political power. And the ministers, by the way, are included in this pay. Did you know that the president of South Africa earns more money than the chancellor of Germany?
I didn't know that.
South African economy is a fraction of the size of the German economy. But our president earns more money than the chancellor of Germany.
Not that he needs a lot more money.
Yes, he has other ways of earning. But he's paid. So this is an illustration of how the middle class parties are using their power to enrich themselves through taxing the rest of the economy. And that is what is driving our stagnation. Now, if you went to the government of national unity and said, take off 20% of GDP from the salaries, they will all refuse. Because all of them, whether they're DA or ANC, are being paid these phenomenal salaries.
Umfowabo ka former president uThabo Mbeki usitshela information engicanga ukuthi ibaluleke kakhulu, ikakhulukazi ngoba ngonyaka ophelile kwaba khona idebate eParliament emayelana nokukhushulwa kwesalary kapresident necabinet lakhe lonke okufuneka abakhushulelwa amasalary ngo-4.1%. Uyazi ukuthi eParliament it's a game of numbers. So no matter abanye bangakhuluma bathini, kodwa ekugcineni kosuku kuzovotwa bese kuthi uma sekuvotiwe laba abavotayo baba imajority kuphase lokho kwabo. iANC ihlangene neDA kuphela ingakabibikho enye ingabangakayifaka enye political party bane majority. Uma nje ANC sihlangene neDA beba babili nje kuphela bayi majority. kodwa ngenxa yokuthi kukhona OPA, o-IFP, o-Rise Mzansi, o-Good, wonke lama party lawa khona. So lokho nje kwenza ukuthi noma yini ezobenefita abantu. Khumbula phela ukuthi lama political parties, they are part of a government, and kuma political parties wabo kunabantu in cabinet, abangominister, abango-deputy minister. Ngakho uma kukhulunywa indaba ukukhuphuka kwamasalari kuthinta ngqo labo bantu labo. Abantu base-South Africa ngendlela abacindezeleke ngayo, uhulumeni wethu befuna ukukhuphula i-VAT, esho khona imali ayikho. Kodwa uma uzwa kuthiwa uma engasikhuphuke la masalari, imali ezokhokhwa, uyayibona-ke lento esho uMweleti Mbeki ukuthi inhloso yalaba bantu is to enrich themselves, ngoba ukukhuphuka kwamasalari abo abe phezulu. Kodwa kuthi iSouth Africa ayinamali, funa kukhuphuka i-VAT ukuze bezokwazi ukuqoqa imali eyanele. Why bengayiyeka amasalari wabe lapho noma bewanciphise, ngoba bahola ngokwedlulele. Sizokhumbula ukuthi uCIC Julius Malema uyikhuluma isikhathi eside indaba yama-deputy minister, wathi awukho umsebenzi wabo, abaphume, abangabibikho, abangabi ingxenye ecabinet. Emaphoyiseni kuno-deputy minister ababili, uzubona ukuthi ba-useless. Ngesikhathi uPresident Ramaphosa decide ukuthatha uminister uSenzo Mchunu ambeke ku-leave of absent for that 2 weeks, kunokuthi athathwa yedwa kulabo deputy minister, abo-acting minister wamaphoyisa, waqokela ukuthatha uGwede Mantashe azomenza u-acting minister, ngoba laba vele abanamsebenzi bahola mahhala. Namanje kukhona uFiroz Khachalia, uProfessor Firoz Khachalia, o-acting minister wamaphoyisa. Kodwa kuno-deputy minister ababili. Wathi efikile eParliament uDeputy Minister wahluleka nokuphendula ukuthi yini umsebenzi wakhe, wathi uMinister bengakama-allocateli umsebenzi ofuneka wenza. Ba-useless ngoba kulama portfolio kukhona o-DG, u-DG o-Director General uyena owazi yonke into. So uma kukhona u-DG asikho isidingo sika-Deputy Minister. Phandle-ke ukhona la dinga khona u-Deputy Minister kwi-portfolio le-water and sanitation. Uma kuseParliament kubuzwa imibuzo, umama lo minister uPhemi Madojina, angisazi kahle isibongo sakhe, awuvela umbona uqokiwe nje ngoba uyicomrade, akazi lutho, ungcono ku-deputy minister lapho. Nango-ke la ngibona khona ukuthi u-deputy minister uyadingeka makunje.
A salary increase is on the cards for public office bearers. That's if the president gives the nod. The Independent Commission for the Remuneration of Public Office Bearers says the salary hike is an adjustment for the cost of living. If approved, this could see the president earning more by over 137,000 rand a year, bringing his salary to 3.4 million annually. The deputy president could get an annual increase of just under 130,000 rand a year, bringing his salary to 3.2 million a year. Cabinet ministers could see a salary hike of 110,000 rand. Deputy ministers, the speaker, premiers, executive mayors, and the chief justice could also see higher salaries. The auditor general could see her salary go up by 233,000 rand, bringing her annual salary to just under 6 million. The public protector could see an increase of over 106,000 rand a year, bringing her annual salary to 2.7 million.
Sukeni la izolo, President Ramaphosa usayinileke ukuthi amasalari wabo akhuphuke. Sizokhuluma ngaleyo ndaba leyo later on. Njengoba ubona nawe ukuthi amasalari wabazoma kuphi. Ngesikhathi kwakubikwa lolu daba kwakusabikwa ngoba wayengakayisayini uPresident Ramaphosa, kodwa eParliament bayivotela njengento efuneka yenzeke. Ngizokucaphunela ukuthi ama-opposition parties athini wona mangabe phikisana nalokukhushulwa kwamasalari uPresident Ramaphosa necabinet lakhe lonke. Kodwa nje laba beku-GNU bayiphasisa lento ingakho ibeyilinda uPresident ukuthi asayini. Mawubheka u-public protector usezohola 2.7 million, uwe nje asike sikhulume nje iqiniso unguwe ubungahlala kanjani ungamvikela upresident uma ngabe enamandla ukuthi afake isignature nje salary yakhe ikhuphuke. Yazi uadvocate uCaleka bengimsola no angisamsoli manje phela imali ayilithezulu manzi nami bengeke ngize ngibe against upresident ngimbone ukuthi unephutha ngoba siyazi nje South Africa sinayo public protector sine president protect bengakuqondi ukuthi kungani sengiya understand manje ingoba unawo amandla upresident ukuthi angangikhipha kulela office kanti imali iningi etholakala ngokuba kuleya office angisho ukuthini ngicela uzwe la.
They don't deserve an increase because well, exactly they are eating all the money already. They don't deserve another increase for salary.
In an environment where public office bearers are delivering very little to the people they're meant to serve, and with 50% of families in our country going to bed hungry over this festive period, this increase is unacceptable, inappropriate, and certainly not deserved. What is a huge step in the face for South Africans is that deputy ministers will now earn over 2.3 million per annum. Nobody knows what deputy ministers do, including themselves.
The president should be ashamed of himself for accepting this salary increase under the current economic circumstances. He has failed to grow the economy, refuses to grant public servants an inflation-adjusted wage increase, and is unwilling to increase social grants. He is the same president who have cancelled the 350 release grant, yet we want to increase his salary. This is the same man who presented to us that he is a billionaire and is having his own money. A billionaire that stuffed his cushions and couches and beds and pillows full of US dollars that he didn't declare at SARS, he didn't declare at the Revenue Bank. That is the same billionaire that today is asking this House to adopt an increase. If I was Mr. Ramaphosa, I would have said to my comrades, don't bring this here because you are just embarrassing me. But because he's money hungry, he's greedy, he accepts such proposals to increase his salary. Meanwhile, workers are told they cannot accept salary increases because the economy is struggling. These are the people who deserve wage increases, not Mr. Ramaphosa. That was proclaimed the billionaire president. That today want this House to accept his billionaire, his increase of his salary. There are many police stations that doesn't have enough police vehicles, doesn't have enough police officers. But Mr. Ramaphosa is coming to this House seeking for some increase. There are many communities and universities that doesn't have enough universities and TVET colleges, but yet we are here seeking an increase for Mr. Ramaphosa. He should be ashamed of himself and not accept this and not even bring this motion here.
To approve a salary increase of Mr. Ramaphosa. While the Commission operates independently, this recommendation, along with Mr. Ramaphosa's likely acceptance, raises serious concerns about ethical leadership and its insensitivity to the struggles of ordinary South Africans. At a time when civil servants are denied salary increases and face the threat of retrenchments under the guise of cost-cutting and under-collection by SARS, approving a salary increase for Mr. Ramaphosa is an insult to the nation. It sends a disturbing message that the burden of austerity must be borne only by the poor working class, while the privileged few cruise nicely. South Africans are enduring a period of immense economic hardship, with soaring unemployment, rising inequality, and deepening poverty. Public servants, the backbone of service delivery, are being asked to sacrifice, yet the head of state, a billionaire with immense personal wealth, including game farms, stands to gain further from the public purse, where the Gogos also contribute. This is insane. This is immoral. It must also be asked whether this alleged shortfall in Mr. Ramaphosa's remuneration since 2018, when he initially declined salary increases, hasn't already been compensated by the yet to be accounted for Pala dollars under the mattresses and sofas, or the sale of the buffaloes that were allegedly sold but never collected. Today, we are asked to forget about the findings of the Section 89 panel, which found that Mr. Ramaphosa has a prima facie case to answer for allegedly violating his oath of office in terms of Corruption Act, PRECA, foreign exchange regulations, and tax evasion. Honorable members, the decision that this House is asked to make today cannot be viewed lightly or in isolation. It has no single atom of altruism. It reflects a broader trend in societal rot, the trend of prioritizing the enrichment of a political elite over the well-being of the people. True leadership demands humility, sacrifice, solidarity, and selflessness, not luxury and entitlement. The MK Party rejects this unjustified salary adjustment in the strongest terms. It is a betrayal of the public trust and an affront to millions of struggling South Africans who queue up for a mere 350.
Bangishilo ekuqaleni ngathi parliament is a game of numbers. Ngakho ke noma yini ama-opposition angayiraise kodwa ekugcineni kosuku mase kuvotwa imiphumela izodetermine laba abane-majority. Le government gazette obuyibona la upresident uyisayine ngomhla ka-16 kuJanuwari 2026. Ithi determination of salaries and allowances of the deputy president, ministers and deputy ministers 2025-2026. In terms of section 4 in bracket 1 of the Remuneration of Public Office Bearers Act of 1998, Act 20 of 1998, hereby referred to as the Act, I hereby determine that with effect from 1 April 2025, the salaries and allowances of the Deputy President, Ministers and Deputy Ministers shall be as set out in the attached schedule, subject to the provisions of Section 427 of the Act, and in terms of condition set out herein. Kukusho ukuthi kusuka ngomhla ka-1 ku-April ama-salaries azobe ekhuphukile. Abenzanga iphutha mabebhala 1 April 2025. Khumbula phela ukuthi lo nyaka lo esikuwo usese u-2025-26 in terms of i-budget. U-2026-27 sizoqala after i-budget. So njengoba ebhale nje ukuthi 1 April 2025 abenzanga iphutha. Njengoba ubona la ku screen sakho ukuthi uSpeaker imali nabeka ithola inguquko ezoba khona imali engango 120,257 rand, okusho ukuthi ngonyaka usezothola 3,284,911 rand. So njengoba ubabona-ke ukuthi uchair ubani bonke labo kwehla kanjalo kuyalezansi. Kube la kuhulumeni bekunjengasemafemini noma kuma-companies lapho khona umuntu akhushulela imali based on i-performance, bekuzoba ngcono ngoba besizobuka ukuthi okay wenzeni. Upresident Ramaphosa wasithembisa i-bullet train, wathi silalele, the new city is coming, akaze azayideliver. Unemployment rate phezulu, yonke lento eyenzeka, kodwa ngoba ama-salaries akhuphuka ngenxa yamandla abanawo nangenxa ukuthi bayakwazi ukuthi bavote bona babe i-majority, yingakho kunje. Kodwa kube nje kuthiwa abantu bakhushulelwa based on performance, ngabe kungcono ngoba noma ubani ubezosebenza. Wena la usebenza khona funeka uperforme kahle, wenze kahle ukuze ukhushulele isalary, not ikhulumeni. Ingakho nami nje ngathi inkinga yami nje unembeza uzongihlola, kodwa bekufuna ngibe yi-politician mabethola imali engaka. Inkinga njazo into engangihlula ilokuqamba amanga, ngibuka abantu bakithi ngiqamba amanga, ngibakhohlise, ngibathembisa into engaziyo ukuthi ngeke ngize ngiyenze. Nansi nje into engangihlula engangenza ukuthi ngingaqualify ukuba yi-politician, ngoba phela funa ukwazi uqamba amanga. Ngazi inkinga yami unembeza. Manje labantu laba mangingathola nje ukuthi how to kill your conscience ukuze ingakukhumbuzi uma wenza into ezi-wrong. Ngikwazi ukuqamba ngikwazi ukudla imali yabafelokazi, ngidla imali ey'ntandane zihlupheke zona, mina ngiphile kahle nomndeni wami. Ngingakujabulela lokho, yikho nje ukuthi angazi ukuthi ngingakwenza kanjani. Uma ekhona owazi akangilekelele phela nami ngizokwazi ukuzama ukuba yi-politician. Sibambe le video, bekubalulekile ukuthi ngikwazise ngalolu daba okukhulunywa ngalo, ikakhulukazi njengoba kulezi insuku ifocus yethu ku-ad hoc committee, sikhuluma ngoPaul O'Sullivan, ngapha bekukhona Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo, ngapha bekukhona uGeneral Phahlana. Njoba kukhulunywa le into ey'ningi, zikhona ezinye iy'ndaba esigcina singasakhulumanga ngazo kanti zibalulekile ukuthi sizikhulume. Kodwa ngiyafisa sengathi kungenzeka le nto eyenzeka emafemini nakumakhampani ezehlukeneyo ukuthi umuntu akhushulele isalary based on performance. Yabona nje o-deputy minister abanamsebenzi, useless their portfolio. Kuthi why bekhona? Kodwa mhlambe ukukhanda amathuba omsebenzi. I-DA ngeke isho lutho. Yayingakhuluma ingakangeni. Hey phela emalini asiyeke futhi le ndaba. Mina nawe sidibane kwivideo elandelayo. Ngiyacela ukuze ukuphawula kwakho la comment section ngizwa wena ukuthi ubona kanjani lo lonke lolu daba esilixoxayo.